Hi everyone. When we are in our homes, we don't stop to think that someone could involve us in a crime simply by using our own devices and internet. It's terrifying to think that someone can access our network, computer, Google Nest, mobile phone, or even our smart TV without us even knowing. In this video, we are going to talk about what we are protecting and why we are protecting it. Therefore, we need to consider our digital devices just like we would any other asset and think about what sort of insurance we want to assign to each of them. This is what we call our cybersecurity hygiene. Cyber hygiene requires upfront planning and repetition. This is to prevent any ill-intentioned people from hacking into our network. Hackers are unauthorized users who break into computer systems in order to steal, change, or destroy information, often by installing dangerous malware without your knowledge or consent. Their clever tactics and detailed technical knowledge help them access personal information that you really don't want them to access. Once someone has gained access to your personal information, they can use your usernames and passwords to take your money and identity by opening up accounts in your name, making purchases, and selling your information to other parties who will use it for illegal purposes. Managing identity theft is a traumatic and difficult experience. It can severely damage your creditworthiness and leave you with bills that you did not incur. To help you prevent cybercrime happening to you, we are going to take a look at how we can implement security protocols to increase your online safety. Let's get started. Cybercrime is simply a crime taking place over the internet. Examples of cybercrime include hacking, stalking, terrorizing, and scamming. If you have weak passwords or authentication methods, intruders can access your personal information and use it for criminal activity. Criminal activity can be facilitated through fraudulent emails, text messages, phone calls, and social media activity. Phishing is the practice of attempting to take your money and your identity by sending you fraudulent emails or text messages that pretend to be from a legitimate entity. These attacks trick you into revealing personal information such as passwords, credit card details, and other sensitive information. The most common indicators of a phishing attack include the urgency, grammar, and tone of the email. If you fall victim to a phishing attempt, you may end up with malware infections, including ransomware, identity theft, and data loss. Because preying on the victim's fears and sense of urgency is key to phishing, phishing is one of the most significant threats to us all. This is because phishing requires a human's defense, and this is often what's called a single point of failure. For example, you may recall the recent Optus breach. Attackers obtained and revealed sensitive personal information of some 11 million Optus customers. This information included names, dates of birth, email addresses, and phone numbers. Optus advised its customers to be on the lookout for increased scams as the information was sold on the dark web. Once a criminal has your personal information, they can make fraudulent purchases with your bank cards, apply for loans and credit cards in your name, access your accounts, including medical information, file for government benefits, change your billing address so you don't notice the fraudulent activities, apply for fraudulent identification such as driver's license and passport, and sell your information to other criminals who will repeat the cycle. These activities are what's known as identity theft, and it may take an unexpected contact by debt collectors before you notice that it has happened to you. Should you become involved in a scam activity, you should report it to the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission. Another type of cybercrime is extortion. This is when threats are made to disable the target systems or compromise confidential information unless payment is received. Ransomware and distributed denial of service attacks are the two most common types of cyber extortion. Ransomware is distributed by fraudulent networks, emails, and infected websites. Users are tricked into clicking on infected links which download malicious software onto their systems. The software encrypts the files of the victim, rendering their network and computers unusable. The demands from the criminals include ransom payments or some other form of compensation. In return, the criminals say they will provide the decryption key. However, this rarely happens. It is often recommended not to pay the criminals a ransom payment as there is no guarantee the information or access will be restored in full. In this situation, it is recommended that you call the Australian Cybersecurity Centre's 24-hour hotline if you require assistance. Please also ensure you submit the incident to report cyber. When attacked by ransomware, the ACSC recommend that you record important details of the incident. Turn off the infected device. Disconnect your other devices. Change your important passwords. Seek assistance to recover your information. Remove the ransomware from affected drives and devices and to restore your information. Always ensure you only visit secure websites which display a padlock at the beginning of the URL. Be suspicious of links and be careful of opening files and downloading programs. All of these threats have serious implications on your privacy should you suffer a data breach. Remember, we talked about cybersecurity hygiene. Our cybersecurity hygiene refers to regular habits and practices regarding safe technology use. For example, avoiding unprotected Wi-Fi networks and implementing safeguards like a VPN or multi-factor authentication. When we consider our cybersecurity hygiene, we want to firstly consider which digital assets we own. In my situation, my digital inventory consists of 5 digital assets. I'm connected to the internet using my II-Net router. The Google Nest Mini is mainly used as music speakers and an alarm clock. I have a Dell XPS laptop running Windows 11 as well as a Sony Bravia LED Google Smart TV. Finally, I regularly connect with friends and family through my Apple iPhone 11. Now that I've identified what digital assets we own, we then need to understand how to establish the most secure connection between our digital assets, our personal information, and the internet. What connects us to the web is our router. The threat with my II-Net router device is that if I don't have a strong enough password, someone would be able to hack into my computer and take my personal information. A router is the piece of network hardware that allows communication between your local home network, such as your personal computers, as well as other connected devices and the internet. A router password is needed to log in to the router admin console to configure its settings. Most hackers use your router to access your wireless home network, as they can always determine what all of the default passwords of a router are given manufacturers advertise them. Updating your default router password can help keep your home network safe and improve your device security. Most default router passwords are something very easy like test01234. Given the simplicity and commonality of this password, it makes it very easy to hack. Your router password is the key to your personal information, so we recommend you update your router password. To update your II-Net router password, follow the instructions on the screen. When changing your password, don't choose one that includes your personal information or one that is easy to guess. Please remember you are changing your network password. That means you will have to re-enter your Wi-Fi password to connect back onto your Google Nest Mini, Dell laptop, Sony TV, and your iPhone. It's also a good idea to identify your network name from your preset device name. This is because hackers generally have lists of the common manufacturing router username and passwords, as previously discussed. To change your network name, you need to go to your network provider's router admin console as shown earlier to configure these settings. Update your network name to something that you can identify with. This is so that you can remember which network is yours when reconnecting. We'll look at passwords later on, however. Always make sure you are using strong and unique passwords and consider using a password manager and a password generator. The location of where you go to update your network name is shown on the screen. Let's look at the Google Nest Mini now. A Google Nest Mini is simply a speaker that's connected to the internet and has a built-in voice assistant system such as Alexa, Google, Cortana, Siri, or Bixby. For a smart speaker to work properly, it has to be listening all the time, waiting for a wake-up command such as Alexa or OK Google. If it wasn't, then it wouldn't hear any of your commands. So, does this mean everything you say around your smart speaker is being recorded? The answer is yes. The way that the 3 major smart speaker manufacturers, Amazon, Google, and Apple, use these recordings has drawn scrutiny and attention. It has been revealed that employees at Amazon, Google, and Apple listen to smart speaker recordings in order to improve their voice recognition algorithms. Users have since reported dropping their voices during conversations to prevent their smart speaker from listening in, while others have gone as far as moving their smart speaker to another room, or turning it off entirely, to avoid being spied on. Our recommendation is that if you are concerned for your privacy and want to avoid being hacked, you can disallow web and app activity recordings. This prevents any of your recordings from being saved on Google. To configure these settings, just follow the instructions on screen using your iPhone. Moving along to my Dell laptop. If I'm not spending time on my phone, I'm using my laptop to connect with those closest to me, do some personal administration, or just surf the web. Whilst laptops provide many conveniences, they also pose many threats. These include hacking, spying, malware, ransomware, password and privacy breaches. One of the simplest things you can do is to ensure all of your browsers and software are updated regularly. Attackers are coming up with new ways for finding vulnerabilities. Therefore, browsers and software companies regularly patch vulnerabilities to prevent them from being exploited. Another very simple way of securing your personal information is through antivirus software. Antivirus software detects, prevents and warns the user of any malicious activity. Next on the list is the Sony Google Smart TV. Any TV that can be connected to the internet is a smart TV. A user can stream media services and run apps, browse the internet, access internet music channels, shop online, and access on-demand video services. Some smart TVs include voice recognition virtual assistant services, like Amazon's Alexa, to help switch channels, modulate volume, and search programs. In theory, a smart TV is a highly evolved device that gives a user a lot of options to enjoy streaming, browsing, and gaming. But there may also be risks you want to consider before deciding to bring one into your living room. Take privacy, for instance. An internet-connected, voice-enabled TV has the capability to track what you are searching and watching. With this information, they can serve ads catered to your way of life. Most smart TVs come with the option for you to turn off such tracking, but it may not be the default setting. As with many internet-connected devices, smart TVs can also be hacked. Smart TV webcams could be hacked for spying, or malware can move from device to device through your router. We recommend minimizing your smart TV's snooping activities by turning off its tracking features, especially automatic content recognition. This function is a visual recognition feature that can identify every ad, TV show or movie you're playing on your TV. To disable automatic content recognition on your Sony Smart TV, follow the prompts on the screen. Mobile phones are not only fantastic for increasing communication, creativity, and entertainment opportunities, but also for keeping us safe. However, in using the convenience of a mobile phone, we are also prone to hacking, weak passwords, privacy issues such as identity theft and loss of data. Therefore, we recommend you keep your device up to date with the latest updates. Safari comes standard with macOS and iOS devices. Your computer or mobile device will regularly check for updates and prompt you to install updates as found. When this occurs, please ensure you enable the update to happen. So far we've discussed ways for protecting our router, Google Nest, Dell laptop, Google Smart TV and iPhone. The one important common factor they all have, is that they all require strong passwords. A strong password is at least 12 characters long. A combination of upper and lower case, numbers and symbols. Some people find the use of a password manager and password generator easy to manage and helpful. Password managers store all of your passwords securely, so you don't have to remember them, and also offer a password generator. Additionally, it's recommended that we apply layers of security. What we mean by that is adding another level of security such as your password plus, for example, multi-factor authentication. As the name suggests, you are applying multi-layers of security for our devices. For example, Microsoft Authenticator is one of the most commonly used password managers. By putting into place the security recommendations discussed, you are protecting the confidentiality of your personal information, ensuring the integrity of your data, and making certain that your information is available at all times when you need it. Okay, stay safe everyone.